Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We are back with the general topics from the paper Milton to the Pre-Romantics. Our first topic for today is prose in the 17th and the 18th centuries. The period saw the rise of philosophical, political, historical and literary prose with the writers addressing themes of liberty, human understanding, morality, satire and a literary criticism. The first prose writer, John Milton, 1608-1674. Although primarily remembered for his poem Paradise Lost, Milton was also a significant prose writer. His prose works were largely influenced by his Puritan beliefs, support for the Commonwealth, and opposition to monarchy and censorship. His major prose works include Areopagitica 1644, a passionate defense of freedom of the press, arguing against the prior censorship of books. In this work he says, "He who destroys a good book kills reason itself." His next prose work is The Tenor of Kings and Magistrates, 1649, justified the execution of King Charles I and defended the rights of the people to overthrow tyrants. Milton's next prose work is Iconoclastis, 1649, a rebuttal of Aachen Basilic, a book of portraying Charles I as a martyr. The ready and easy way to establish a free commonwealth is his next work, published in 1660. That opposed the return of monarchy and predicted the tyranny of Charles II. Milton's prose was complex, passionate, and highly rhetorical, reflecting his deep classical education and radical political ideas. The next prose writer is John Bunyan, 1628 to 1688, religious allegory and early fiction. A Puritan preacher who spent 12 years in prison for preaching without the license, Bunyan used a simple yet powerful prose to convey religious messages. His major works include The Pilgrim's Progress, 1678-1684, an allegorical tale following Christian's journey from the city of destruction to the celestial city. Themes of faith, temptation, sin, and redemption. Regarded as one of the first English novels due to its structured narrative. The next work is The Life and Death of Mr. Badman, 1680, a realistic moral story warning against sinful living. Bunyan's works were deeply spiritual, very accessible, making them popular among all classes. Now the famous diaries, Samuel Pepys and John Evelyn. Diaries became an important literary form in the 17th century, offering personal insights into historical events. First diary writer Samuel Pepys, 1633 to 1703. His diary from 1660 to 1669 is one of the most detailed first-hand accounts of Restoration England. Covers events such as the Great Plague 1665, that he calls a most sad time full of great fears and apprehensions. Then the Great Fire of London, 1666. It made me weep to see it. And political affairs, court scandals, and a naval history. Pepys' diary is admired for its honest, lively, and sometimes humorous tone. Next diary writer John Evelyn, 1620 to 1706, a more serious reflective diarist covering topics such as the execution of Charles I, the restoration of Charles II, scientific advancements and gardening. He was a founding member of the Royal Society. While Pepys' diary is gossipy and detailed, Evelyn's is more philosophical and analytical. The next writer, John Locke, 1632 to 1704. Political and philosophical prose. A major Enlightenment thinker, John Locke's writings laid the foundation for modern democracy and liberalism. His major works include An Essay Concerning Human Understanding, 1690, introduced empiricism, that is the idea that all knowledge comes from experience. In this work, he says, the mind is a blank state, that is tabula rasa, upon which experience writes. His John Locke's next work, that is Two Treatises of Government, 1689, rejected absolute monarchy and advocated for natural rights like life, the right to live, liberty, and property. Inspired the American and French revolutions, John Locke's prose was clear, rational, and persuasive, making his ideas widely influential. The next topic, the periodical essay, journalism and social criticism. The early 18th century saw the rise of periodical essays, which commented on social manners, morality, and literature. First, we have Joseph Edison, 1672 to 1719, and then Richard Steele, 1672 to 1729. They founded the Tatler, 1709, and the Spectator, 1711, short essays on daily life, promoted politeness, rational thinking, and humor. Next, we have Daniel Defoe, 1660-1731, founded the Review, 1704 to 1713, early political journalism, wrote essays on trade, economy, and politics. Next, we have Jonathan Swift, 1667 to 1745, The Examiner, 1710 to 1711, political essays supporting the Tory government. Jonathan Swift's book, A Modest Proposal, 1729, a brilliant satire suggesting that the poor should sell their children as food to criticize British policies in Ireland. Next, we have Dr. Samuel Johnson, 1709-1784, and his circle. The Rambler, 1750 to 1752, and The Idler, 1758 to 1760, essays on literature, morality, and philosophy. James Boswell wrote the work Life of Johnson, 1795, a famous biography giving insight into Samuel Johnson's life and ideas. Next, literary criticism. We have John Dryden, 1631 to 1700, an essay on dramatic poesy, 1668, defended English drama over French neoclassicism. Then Alexander Pope, 1688 to 1744, whose work Essay on Criticism, 1711, advocated for balance, order, and wit in literature. Next, Dr. Samuel Johnson, Preface to Shakespeare, 1765, defended Shakespeare's realism and a deep understanding of human nature. Our next topic is fiction, the rise of the novel. The 18th century saw the development of the modern novel, moving from religious allegory of Bunyan to realism of Defoe and Henry Fielding, and a sentimental fiction of Richardson. Daniel Defoe, 1660-1731, the first English novelist, as per some critics' observation. Defoe wrote the work Robinson Crusoe, 1719, an adventure novel about a survival, morality, and self-reliance. Daniel Defoe's next work, Moll Flanders, 1722, explores crime, redemption, and social mobility, featuring one of the first psychologically complex heroines. Next novel is Samuel Richardson, 1689 to 1761, the first psychological novelist. His work Pamela, 1740, a moralistic epistolary novel about a servant resisting seduction. Richardson's next work, Clarissa, 1748, a tragic novel exploring virtue, power, and gender roles. Next novel is Henry Fielding, 1707 to 1754, the first modern novelist. Joseph Andrews, 1742, a satire of Pamela portraying a virtuous male servant. Henry Fielding's next work, Tom Jones, 1749, a comic picaresque novel with a deep character development. The next writer, Tobias Smollett, 1721-1771, the comic novelist. His work, Roderick Ransom, 1748, is a rowdy novel adventure partly based on Smollett's own life. So remember, the four novelists, Daniel Defoe, Samuel Richardson, Henry Fielding, and Tobias Smollett, they are known as the four wheels of English novel.